Happy Monday, Illumineers. We are back with another episode of Maleficent Monday, and today we're going to be talking about the top 5 Amethyst cards. Quick shout out to the wardrobe because I have to include a meme tier, just like I did with Citizens of Lorcana and Flounder. The wardrobe gets honorable mention because the wardrobe just bodies things. All right, so let's talk about our top 5 cards. Obviously, these are subjective. These are my opinions. You may not agree with any of them, and that's fine. Actually, if you don't agree with any with these choices, you're welcome to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and down in the messages chat, you can list what you think are the top 5 cards, or why you disagree with me. So, my first card on this list is Elsa Snow Queen, the 3-costed 2/3 that exerts chosen opposing character. This is one of those cards that messes with your opponent's math or thinking. It's like, oh, I've got a character that I've just played. I can win the game on the next turn because they're not exerted, or more than likely the scenario is I want to leave this character back. Well, Elsa means that as long as she's in play and the character doesn't have ward, she's going to get to um, exert your character, and then you get to remove it in whatever way you see fit. Um, it's not perfect, obviously. In this game, you can only do stuff on your own turn. She has to be, her ink has to be dry. So there's definitely some things that have to happen correctly. But I still think just her being in the game gives Amethyst more flexibility in being able to take care of characters that maybe um, other characters or other colors may not be able to do. Next up is a super rare, the Queen, Wicked and Vain. Um, 5 costs, 4/5 with 1 lore. Um, but she also has the ability, I summon thee, exert to draw a card. So, while there's also a meme here about Magic Mirror, the 2-costed item that you pay for and exert to draw a card, um, the Queen is more versatile, mostly because uh, she can quest for 1 lore if necessary. She has a rather large body, 4 strength, 5 willpower at 5 cost is really good. And then you don't have to pay any additional ink to use her ability. It's just tap, draw a card. So I think this is going to fit in a lot of Amethyst decks because she simply does everything that you want. If my only complaint, I wish she had 2 lore. Characters 5, 6, 7 need to have 2 or more lore. That's my only complaint about her, but still, she's really good. Um, Even though you have to wait a turn to use her ability. All right, I've sang the praises of this character for a while. Dr. Facilier, Agent Provocateur. 7 costed uninkable 4/5 with 3 lore. Shift 5 and into the shadows. When one of your other characters is banished in a challenge, you may return that character to your hand. So this card is an absolute house. 7 is a lot for a 4/5, so it's slightly understated for its costs. Understandable. Shifting it is going to be I won't say difficult, but there's only two other Dr. Faciliers in this set. The two costed 0-4 that has challenge plus two, or challenger plus two. And then the rare that's a three costed 2-4 that whenever you play a song, you get to look at the top two cards of your deck. And in any event, um, I'm not sure how much the other two are going to see play. Um, so shifting it into play on turn 5 is going to be a little more difficult. But the ability to recur your creatures or your characters back to your hand and replay them is going to be immensely powerful. Your opponent can't completely remove them off the board if he has to challenge to banish them. And you can use characters with Rush, like excuse me, like Rafiki. Um, not a fan of Zeus, but that's okay. To take characters off the board um, that would otherwise be handfuls, and you haven't lost really a card. You've just paid so much, so many resources to get rid of it. Um, there are a lot of other neat things you can do with it. Just being able to quest with all your characters and leave Dr. Facilier ready so that your opponent has the chance. He can challenge and banish those characters, but they're going to go back to your hand. So you get to replay them next turn. Okay. It really puts them in a bind. And then you also have the the rare Jafar that's +1 strength for each card in your hand, which can also do some very dumb things. It lets you wipe out your opponent's side of the board, put all the characters in your hand, and then you have this massive Jafar that, well, they can't do much about, and you got a handful of cards again. This one's going to be a problem, when you do need to put them into harm's way, 3 lore is chef's kiss. All right, so as far as cards that are on my list, this is probably, as far as songs go, as far as actions go, so far this is probably the best action in the game. Friends on the other side, 3-cost inkable song, draw 2 cards. So this is Pot of Greed from Yu-Gi-Oh! For those who are familiar with that. There are a myriad of magic cards that draw 2, but the one that costs 3 and draws 2 is Divination. So Amber has the best card draw in the game currently, and that makes them the fuel that you kind of need. So this is one of those cards you're probably going to see 4 of in every Amethyst deck. Did I say Amber earlier? I'm sorry. In every Amethyst deck for a while, because you can either pay 3 for it, or you can use the song ability, draw 2 cards, and then use the resources that you didn't use to play this to play more stuff out. It's going to be the definer for card draw out of actions, at least for a bit anyway. Magnificent common. And the last card on the list is Elsa, Spirit of Winter, the legendary 8-cost uninkable 4/6, 3 lore, has shift 6, and has the ability Deep Freeze. When you play this character, exert up to 2 chosen characters. They cannot ready at the start of their next turn. So she combines the ability of um, her three-costed version as well as the sister Anna to um, lock down characters. And locking down, not only can you tap them and render them unable to quest, unable to challenge, um, while you go about your game plan, but then they're exerted, so you can challenge into them if you want. Um, Shift cost of 6 um, is actually a pretty good value. Strength is a little low, but it's her ability to control that portion of the game when she hits the table, and really affect how your opponent continues the rest of the game if they can. All right, guys. So that's my top 5 Amethyst cards. Join me next week when I bring you another top 5 from the rest of the colors that we have left. Until next time, no matter the game, there is no escape from the Tigers.